What is up guys, and I do hope you're well, and today we're back with more Entitled Parents. If you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe button, and maybe even joining our Discord. We have a great community around us and would love you to join also. Now let's jump straight into it. You're too young to have a child. I will be taking her. So as crazy situations go, this is one of the most insane things I've been a part of. Backstory. About 6 years ago, I was 17. I met this girl local to me and we started dating. She was great. She was 16 at the time. Only thing was, is she had a 2-year-old daughter. Now the only way I could describe her backstory was coming from a broken home, foster care system, etc, etc. She was awesome though as a mum. At the time I thought it was crazy being able to have that much responsibility so young. She was also around 2 months pregnant at the time of this story. Not mine, about a month after we started dating. I don't judge, I was young. Story time. It was a nice summer evening and we went out for a walk. Me, of course, GF girlfriend, GD girlfriend's daughter, EPM and EPF entitled mum, father, and EB entitled brat. We took our usual walk. Girlfriend was having a fake fag. She was a smoker, so using it as a false placebo. Important. We were nearly home when a couple and their child walked towards us coming the other way. They also had a daughter who looked around too. Nothing like them though. They were white, middle-aged, etc, and EB was mixed race. EP and EB started talking to GD. How cute she was. The girls started blabbering to each other like young children do. Her parents asked her how old we were. We told them and they looked a bit sickened at us. Girlfriend mentioned about her new baby coming. EP's asked me if I'm considering contraception. I've never been good in social situations, so the first thing I managed to say was, "Oh, it's not mine." Cue even more horrified looks. EP mother pointed out girlfriend's fake fag. Girlfriend showed her that was fake and used as a placebo, which didn't make much difference. They were both getting angry. Conversation goes on like this. It's just God testing us. How we can't have children and people like you can. People like me? Yes, trash. Look at the state of you. I may add that we had just taken GD down to the river to play in the mud. At this point, we went to leave because it was insulting. EPF at this point grabbed the harness GF was using to let GFD walk ahead of us. This made her fall and graze her knees, making her cry loudly. EPM swooped down at us on this point and picked her up. GF lost it, demanding to give back her daughter. EPF said he was phoning Child Protective Services and the police because we were incapable of looking after the child. EPM says that EB needs a sister and GFD should go home and live with them because they can offer a better quality of life. I grabbed GFD back at this point. EB is screaming because she wants a sister and people are starting to look out their windows and come out to see what's going on. This is the heartbreaking bit. Girlfriend is restrained by a member of the public and GFD is given to EPs to hold. The police arrive. Child is taken by Protective Services and girlfriend is questioned about how she hurt her knees, why she is dirty, and loads of other questions. CPS also did a check on girlfriend's flat too to make sure it was suitable, and overall it was a very traumatic event for her. We never heard anything back about what happened to EPs and their child. It all happened so quickly, arguing for about 5 minutes loudly before the police turned up and split it all up. GFD was returned quite quickly after the checks, and even though I'm not with her anymore, I see them occasionally. The baby was also a daughter, and both girls are getting on great now. Oh my god. So they actually just, because they couldn't have children themselves, they were trying to take other people's children. It's your fault my son couldn't resist grabbing you. Okay, so this isn't crazy as some of the others, but I wanted to add my EP story. It's morning recess and a bunch of classes are outside, and I'm just hanging about with my friends. We're playing with the jump rope. We loved double dutch, jumping with 2 jump ropes. Anyway, I'm one of the holders during this turn, and while I'm swinging the rope around, EK comes out and just squeezes my boob. At first, I wasn't sure what happened. Then he did it again, so I let go of the rope and I swung at him. I was small and not very strong, so it was literally just a slap, even if my hand was a fist. EK just laughed and ran off. I figured, good, he won't be back. Yeah. He came back near the end of recess and did it again. This time I kicked his shin. It hurt, I'm sure. But like I said, I'm small and not strong. He just flinched and grunted, then laughed again. The next day I get called down to the principal's office. I see my dad, EK, and EK's EP. My dad looked vivid, so I get a little scared. I heard you punched and kicked EK. As you know, this is grounds for suspension. I think she should be expelled. Now hold on, let me ask her side of the story. She turns to me. So did you hit EK? Yeah, I did. I told you, my kid doesn't lie. The principal seemed a little confused. Why? This isn't like you. I was one of those nerdy goody two-shoes. He grabbed me here. I pointed to my chest, and I didn't like it. He wouldn't stop. She has this shocked look. I don't think she was expecting that answer. Excuse me? My dad looked even angrier if that was possible. Ugh, he was just being a boy. I'm sorry, but he's 12. He knows better by now. He's like clenching his teeth while saying this. Then he calms a little and turns to me. I'm proud of you, honey. You did the right thing, and you're not in trouble with me no matter what happens here. It is not okay. She hit my son. She was defending herself. I'm happy she stood up for herself. Well, if your daughter didn't jump and flaunt her stuff, it wouldn't have happened. Excuse me? He started to get red again. Yeah, teach her to act like a lady. She has no business teasing my son with her body. I will fucking... Yeah, man, she was jumping around and stuff. It's double Dutch. Well then, maybe don't do it if it's causing boys to touch you. Me, EP, EK all said our parts at the same time, like overlapping each other. She's 9, you stupid bitch! EP goes pale. You could tell EK left out or fudged this little detail. What she says next told me EK was going to grow up to be a garbage person no matter what. You couldn't have grabbed a girl your age. EP, he shouldn't grab any girl at any age. Yeah, I was one of those unlucky girls who developed early, but still. I had an obvious kid face, and I was super short. The principal was sitting in her chair completely shocked by all this. She excused my dad and me, telling me I was not in trouble. My dad was so proud of me. He took me out for ice cream and said if I ever feel like I needed to defend myself, do it. EK ended up not being able to have recess for the rest of the time he was in elementary school. He had to stay inside and do work. I moved away 3 years later, so I don't know what happened to him. Just wanted to add, it shouldn't matter how old a girl is, it's never okay. Explanation, I was in elementary school, primary for those outside the US. It was K's 6th, ages 5 to 12. I was in 3rd grade, he was in 6th. Like the girl says, it's never okay to just grab someone else like that. Jesus Christ, man. And the mother actually trying to defend it, saying you can't grab someone your own age. You're like it's okay if it was. Jesus Christ. Homophobic EM and ED harassed me and my boyfriend on the bus. English is my 3rd language, so I can't promise this post will be perfect. Plus I'm on mobile, so heads up for the terrible formatting. I will leave the TLDR down below if you ain't got time for this. Some backstory. This is rather recent. It was the end of 2018. I was 16 at the moment and my boyfriend was 18. Before you guys call him a paedophile, in Norway you are legal at 16, but your parents decide if you can date 18 plus or not. But my parents allowed it. I am gay, if that wasn't clear enough. We'd been friends for maybe 5 years before that, and we newly got together. We're going to go and do our last Christmas shopping before Christmas Eve. So we're going to Oslo, the capital of Norway, to make it a shopping trip/date. We're also going to stay for one night at a hotel. We've stayed for a while now. We had to travel quite a bit, so we had to take a night bus. We enter the bus and sit beside each other, then EM, ED and NK. Nice kid, he was around 8 or 9, enter the bus and sit on the row beside us. The father sat a row in front of them, since for each row only fit 2 persons. Me and my boyfriend just chat for a bit, smiling and laughing. It wasn't really anything special, or as you call it, gay talk, so they wouldn't have known we were gay. But as soon as I placed my hand softly on him, I could almost feel someone's stare burning down my hand. I looked over to EM and saw her staring at my hand. She asked me, "Why are you two holding hands?" "We're dating." BF looked over at her as well. The mother held her arm out in front of her child as if we're a threat or something like that. "Can you two please not do that in front of my child? I don't want him to see that." I just looked shocked at her, and I really wanted to say something very mean back. The bus was a bit crowded, so people were looking over their seats trying to see what was going on in here. My BF scoffed and looked at her, slightly ticked off. "Excuse me? What's wrong with holding my boyfriend's hand?" He put extra pressure on the word boyfriend to annoy her. The dad also turned his head around now. "I don't want my son to become gay. I don't want him to grow up as a sinner." "But Mum, our teacher told us that liking boys is okay." Well, your teacher isn't always right, son. My boyfriend had just had it. He can be a bit aggressive sometimes, but I usually stop him. But at the moment I wasn't feeling like it. My boyfriend stood up and told a lady with a nice and sweet tone in his voice, well, if you have a problem with us being gay, what would you do then if your own son had become gay? Disown him? The ED stood up and gave my boyfriend an angry look. My boyfriend is rather tall, around 6'1", and quite muscular, while I am only 5'4", and a rather bit feminine. The father then raises his voice at him. How dare you talk to my son like that, you faggot? You best sit the fuck down or I'll have to make you. Now my boyfriend's face turns red with anger. I step in front of my boyfriend. Darling, please sit down. I don't want us to get in trouble. The bus driver comes over to us. What is the problem, sir? These two faggots are harassing me, my wife and my child. The bus driver faces us. Is this true? No, rather the opposite. They've both been harassing us with their homophobic behaviour. They even threatened my BF. The bus driver believes us due to the fact that ED called us faggots. He checked for the footage they had from the bus cameras. When the ED and EM knew they were busted, they just ran off. They even left the kid behind. The kid apologised for his parents' behaviour. The police was called and later arrived to pick up the child with the parents in the back. They got a fine for harassment, I think. Jesus Christ. I want to say the worst thing is that they left the child behind, but the whole thing is just messed up. I mean, homophobic people, man. It's 2019! I don't care if your mum just had surgery. I need those flowers. Background, my mum is in her late 40s and has a thyroid problem and needed surgery for it. I'm 13 and just finished tennis for 4 hours. My sister has just picked me up and couldn't walk into the store due to a big blister on her foot. I walked into the store and grabbed the very last bundle of flowers and was going to the checkout when a fat woman and a 6-year-old walked in front of the door and immediately looked at the flowers and saw none and scoffed in disgust. Here we go. Me, EK, entitled kid, EP, entitled parent, NW, nice worker. Hey, yeah you fat little fuck. I'm not fat at all. Me? Yeah you, give me those flowers right now. I'm a single mother with 2 girls to support. Can't you respect me? Yeah, my sister got a C in maths. Shut up EK, mummy's talking. You can't have these flowers, my mum has surgery and I want to surprise her. I don't want your life story, just give me the flowers. Me, getting slightly scared and angry. I said no and that means no. Now get the fuck out of my face. How dare you such profane language in front of a kid? Keep in mind she called me a fat fuck earlier. What's happening here? This boy ripped these flowers right out of my hands. Yeah, he also pushed me over. The nice worker frowning. Is this true? No, check the tapes. At this moment the husband storms in the door, having seen everything from his car, and starts yelling at her about she always does this. He profusely apologised to me and NW before offering to pay for the flowers. I thanked him and went home. I'm glad to report that my mum is just fine. Oh my god, that the woman just walks in and just immediately tries to take flowers from like a younger child. But fair play to the husband of her. He must have to put up with some shit in life if that's what he's dealing with. Once again, guys, thank you so much. It really means the world. What's happening with this channel, the way you guys are in Discord, the way you are in the comments, it really means so much to me. So thank you so much. Take care now. Goodbye.